I fish all over the country. Sometimes I'm up there shallow, sometimes I'm out deep offshore. You know, I have two essential tools on my boat. That's shallow water anchors and a bow mount trolling motor. I'm the guy that if I feel like there's 10 fish in that patch of grass right there, I want to catch at least 9 of them. Smallmouth bass, largemouth bass, they're very spooky, especially when they're up shallow. I want to be really quiet. I want to be really stealthy. I don't want to be like a bull in a china shop. When you're up here fishing shallow and you can see that trolling motor kicking up all that mud, you're definitely in raptor country. Can't get them shallow water anchors to hit, that's when you're going to go with spot lock. Regardless if the wind's blowing 20 mile an hour, that spot lock is going to hold this boat in position. Spot lock, raptors, give me the ability to do every single job that I need to do. I think one of the biggest things that anglers miss when they're on the water is boat control. And to be able to have total boat control, whether that's with my Quest trolling motor where I can sneak up there on them, and when I get into position where I want, then I put my raptors down. And today we're going to talk about which one's better and what situation. If I'm up here shallow like we're doing right now, I'm probably going to use my raptors 99.9% of the time. When you look around here, you can see all this shallow water cover. You know, I'm looking at about 4.5 foot deep right here. This is a prime area or a prime location when we're gonna use shallow water anchors. I never wanna take a chance of that trolling motor washing the cover I'm fishing or stirring up mud or making unnecessary noise when I'm up here fishing shallows. When you get a bite, and you're around this isolated type cover, drop them raptors. The boat is rock solid. It's not moving. The wind could be blowing 20 mile an hour and this boat's not gonna go anywhere. If you look against the bank, you can see them isolated grass clumps. We wanna be able to pick every single one of those apart. If I didn't drop the raptors here and the wind was blowing, it may blow me in there and I may miss an opportunity at a fish like this. And in a tournament, this fish right here could be key. You hear us talk all the time about being up here shallow, being stealthy, try to be as quiet as you can, keep your trolling motor down on low. You know, I typically, when I'm up here fishing shallow, I just want to take my time, ease myself along, and pick apart every piece of cover that I can. Up there shallow and no water. Look at that. That is a beauty. If the water is just a little too deep, where I can't use my raptors, where they're not going to touch the bottom, that's when I'm going to go for the spot lock. You know, one of the perfect scenarios for me to use spot lock is going to be a piece of offshore structure, say where my shallow water anchors are not going to touch. When I get up there in casting distance or where I feel like I can reach that cover, I'll hit that spot lock button. And what that does on this trolling motor, it gives me the ability to stay exactly where I'm at, regardless of what's going on. To have the ability to hit spot lock, it's unbelievable. You know, just don't think because you're up here shallow that your spot lock's not gonna work. You know, your spot lock works perfectly up in shallow water as well. Just be very careful when you're up there on whatever structure you may be on. So as that trolling motor is doing its job and turning around, you know, staying on that GPS position, that you're not blowing your piece of cover out. You know, and that brings up a really interesting point. You know, one of the questions I get asked all the time is, Bill, how do I decide when I'm setting my boat up what I need? You know, do I need a Quest with spot lock? Do I need 10-foot raptors? Do I need 8-foot talons? You know, I think the biggest thing you need to do as an angler is, us as anglers have our own style of fishing or fishing that we like to do. You know, you may be a crappie fisherman, you may be a cat fisherman, you may be a angler that wants to have the dream of becoming a professional angler. But what I think you need to do is just look at, when you're on the water, what you do predominantly most of the time, and that'll tell you exactly what you need. You know, if you're a shallow water angler like I am, you could have a 4-Trex paired up with a set of wrappers. You know, if you're a guy that is a offshore guy and you spend all your time offshore, maybe you're running around with Mega Live forward-facing sonar, scanning for fish all the time, shallow water anchors may not be necessary for you, but that's where spot lock is gonna come into play then. Look at your style of fishing, look at your budget, and rig your boat up to make you more efficient on the water. Ooh. All right, there's another one. Once again, fishing isolated grass clumps, taking our time, cruising along, being stealthy up here shallow, being able to catch fish like that. I can't stress to you how important it is to be able to have a quiet trolling motor to ease along up here in the shallows. And once you get a bite, put them raptors down, stand back up right where you let off, and maybe catch another fish like this. In tournament fishing, this is so important to be able to catch fish like this and not blow out an area. So put them raptors down and go to work.